Blue skies in the City of Angels, 79 degrees here in Los Angeles. The Chargers and the Rams. Chargers won the toss. They have deferred to the second half, so they'll kick it off with Caleb Sturgis, the deep man for the Rams, JoJo Natson. Rams are 2-0 for the first time since 2001. They went 14-2 that year and went to the Super Bowl. Started the season 6-0. We're underway in LA. Booming kick. And the Rams will have it at the 25. Let's check in with the third member of our crew. Down to the field, Evan Washburn.
Well, Ryan, this may be the first time these two teams meet as LA neighbors, but for Philip Rivers, this probably feels like an old AFC West matchup because who's standing on the other side? Wade Phillips, Aqib Talib, and most notably, Marcus Peters, who's picked off Rivers 4 times in his career, 3 times last year. And Rivers acknowledged that it's man on the outside, and you just have to win your matchups, have to know that.
Yeah, there are a lot of connections here, Evan. Anthony Lynn in his rookie year in the NFL with Denver, his head coach was Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator, of course. Now in his 41st year in the NFL with the Rams. It's a handoff to Gurley to open things up. Brandon Mebane, the first man there, and a gain of 3 on first down. Jared Goff, we saw major improvement, Dan, from year 1 to year 2. It continues into year 3.
Now you see this quick tempo. Now they go right to the line of scrimmage, trying to make communication difficult for the young Charger defenders.
Setting the tempo. Goff's pass was not clean. He was looking in the direction of Cooper Kupp. Brandon Cooks in the area as well, and it sets up 3rd and 7 for the Rams.
Well, unlike a lot of teams, Goff will operate from under center on most normal down and distance situations. He feels it gives the offense a more variety of plays, both run and in the play action. But on passing plays, he likes it because he can keep his eyes downfield on the Charger defense instead of having to look for the snap from center.
The team has won 13 of Goff's last 17 starts. Nickel package here for the Chargers. Out of the gun. Goff, clean pocket throws. It's a strike. Makes the connection at the 40-yard line with Robert Woods. And a first down for 13.
A beautiful pass by Goff. He got good protection as they go right to the line of scrimmage again. And they want to snap the ball quickly, and often they will take shots down the field, especially to number 12, Brandon Cooks.
Fake it. Goff. Sideline toss to Wood, and it's blown up. Kaiser White, talented rookie, and flags down.
Yeah, talented rookie and a rookie mistake on top of a real good tackle.
It's a taunt.
That's not going to make Anthony Lynn happy. Remember last week against the Bills.
After the play was over, taunting, defense, number 44, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic. First down.
Yeah, Desmond King got a penalty last week for taunting. Really a good tackle right at the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. But rookie, you can't do that. Not with the official standing right there with a yellow flag in his hand.
In his 3rd NFL game, Kaiser White. And a mistake that puts the Rams into Chargers territory at the 45-yard line. Motion man is Woods. Rams on the move. Most prolific offense in the NFL so far through 2 weeks. Gurley, nice stutter step. Gurley's got a first down. Saffold and Havenstein up front help create a hole for 11.
Well, the action here attracts the defenders, but this is the key block here by Havenstein. Watch him come down and take care of middle linebacker Perryman, and a big gain for Gurley.
Moving quickly, play action, dump it off to Gurley. Accelerates. Oh, he loses the football. Gurley coughs it up, and the Chargers have it. Todd Gurley was going to come up shy of the first down. And a turnover, and it's Desmond King, the second.
First fumble of the year for Gurley. And Mebane punches it out with his right hand. Veteran move by Brandon Mebane. Watch him come in there and just hit the ball perfectly. And Desmond King, Johnny on the spot.
King in a battle with Whitworth, and the Chargers DB wins it. Brandon Mebane forced the fumble, the 12-year veteran and captain. Sets up the Chargers with a 1st and 10 at the 24. First possession of the day for the Chargers. It's a give to Gordon. Keeps those legs churning. Dominique easily first man there, 4.5-yard gain. So Gurley, that's his 5th career fumble lost, and I don't know if he's working on the defense trying to punch it out, but he had it punched out on him on the Rams' first drive of the day. Nickel package, Nickel Roby-Coleman in. Mike Williams, the 3rd receiver, on 2nd and 5 for the Chargers. Chargers coming off the 31-20 win in Buffalo. Rivers dropped. Keenan Allen, normally as sure-handed as they come in this league.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of jitters, with Gurley fumbling, and now a clear drop by Keenan Allen. Took his eyes off the ball. Rivers leads him perfectly, but look at his head. His head turned away from the ball, looking for room to run.
Antonio Gates on the field, missed a couple of days of practice because of an undisclosed illness. 3rd and 5.
Go hammer, hammer!
Chargers had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter last week. Rivers sidesteps. Rivers chucks it downfield. Nobody home. Mike Williams in the general vicinity, and the Chargers go 3 and out.
Yeah, Rivers cannot afford to hang on to the ball too long against this pass rush of the Rams. They bring 5 this time. Rivers stepping up and throwing the ball away wisely before the pocket totally collapses.
JoJo Natson, the return man, and Drew Kaiser will punt it for LA. Natson was not on an NFL team week 1, then got the call when Farrell Cooper went down with an injury. High punt. Natson backpedals from the 20. Natson makes a cut. And he gets crushed at the 20-yard line. That's where the Rams will have it after the 52-yard punt. We'll come back in 30 seconds after this from Progressive Insurance.
Computer, order pizza.
Of course, Daniel.
Fridge, weather.
Clear skies in 75.
Trash can, turn on the TV.
My pleasure.
Ice dispenser, find me a dog sitter.
Okay.
And make ice.
Pizza delivered.
What's happened to my son?
I think that's just what people are like now. I mean, with Progressive, you can quote your insurance on just about any device, even on social media. He'll be fine.
Willie?
I don't know.
That is now 20 straight opening drives with no touchdowns for the Los Angeles Chargers.
And that's an amazing number when you consider the talent they have on this offense.
3 receivers set here for the Rams. Open this drive at the 20-yard line. Jared Goff has 31 touchdowns and 8 interceptions since the start of last season. He's 5-0 in his career against the AFC. Jet sweep action. Robert Woods. That was a play that burned the Chargers in week 1 against Kansas City. They had so much motion and action that the Chargers had a tough time keeping up.
And the Rams will run that jet sweep with a number of different players. In fact, they even have a double jet sweep that can be very confusing for a defense.
Yeah, Jared Goff was talking to us about it. It's called the Delta sweep. Has nothing to do with Animal House.
Damian Square made contact. This will be a free 5 yards for the Rams.
No more Delta.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Delta House.
NFL Coach of the Year. That movie was made before Sean McVay was even born. He's 32 years old and just has boundless energy, and the team feeds off it.
Yeah, they really do on both sides of the ball. They love the way he's so involved in the high energy, the intensity, all paying off.
So 2nd and 2. Cooks goes in motion. Fake it to him, give it to Gurley, and the Chargers swarm. Todd Gurley has nowhere to go. Once again, Damian Square, and no gain on the play.
Damian Square and Denzel Perryman from his middle linebacker spot as well make sure that Gurley cannot turn it up. There's the hit by Perryman down low, Square up high. Good pursuit. And the Chargers were not fooled by the fake of the jet sweep that time.
Rams are coming off a 34-0 annihilation at Arizona. They've had 11 30-point games since the start of last season. That's 2 more than any other team in the league. We've seen Phillips in the nickel. We've seen King in the nickel for the Chargers. This is a 3rd and 2 with the play clock winding down. Jet sweep. Woods has room, turns the corner, enough for the first down. Ran into a wall, but still got the necessary yardage. Kaiser White over there defensively.
They have run this play or faked running this play, it seems like, on almost every play here. But at the end of the run here, Woods looked like he had a lot of yards, but he runs right up the back of Brandon Cooks. And give Casey Hayward credit for that tackle, because he fought off the block of Cooks and caused that collision.
I would say half a tackle for Cooks and for Hayward. Cooks is doing it all. Line of scrimmage is the 31. 9:50 mark of the first. Give it to Gurley. And runs into a crowd. 2-yard pickup for Todd Gurley. Signed that big contract, 4 years, $60 million. The NFL Offensive Player of the Year last season with 13 touchdowns and 1,305 rushing yards. Explosive. A couple of Pro Bowls to his credit. Last week, Gurley had 3 touchdowns. Goff. Toss it to Gurley, who's open. And there's that explosiveness after the catch. Just glides into Chargers territory for 16.
Yeah, he's so thick in the lower body. That's where he gets this power. Good read by Goff, looking down the field and then dumping it off to a wide open back. Now watch as he shreds Charger tacklers. He goes 6'1", about 227, but you can see the thighs and the calves, and that's where he gets all that power.
They will mark him down at the 49. Woods the motion man. Rams again threatening. Chargers got a turnover on the last possession. And whistle before Goff snapped a timeout call. And it's the Rams. So 2 timeouts remaining for Sean McVay's squad. 8:32 to go in this opening quarter. Well, we're here in L.A. It's L.A. versus L.A. Let's give you the history. The Rams moved to Los Angeles from Cleveland in 1946. The Chargers were founded in L.A. in 1960. AFL left for San Diego a year later. Raiders moved to L.A. from Oakland in 82. The Rams and Raiders left L.A. for St. Louis and Oakland after 94. And then L.A. had no team. Rams returned in 2016. Chargers returned last season. There will be a pop quiz, Dan, in the second quarter.
Yeah, I was hoping you could repeat that. I had you right up to 1952.
That's when I lost you.
The Chargers' first play in the Coliseum, Paul Lowe took the opening kickoff back 105 yards for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Nice minutia. First down here at the 49. Goff, take the handoff, tosses to a wide open Robert Woods. Goff on target for a first down to the 35.
Yeah, he was wide open from the get-go on a slant route. Good patience by Goff, coming off his initial receiver to the backside of the formation, and there is Woods with another catch. No pressure at all so far on Goff.
And again, the high tempo. Higbee gets in on the action. And a first down for the Rams.
That's just the 2nd catch of the season for Higbee. In fact, it's only the 3rd catch for Ram tight ends. But that tempo has got the Chargers on their heels right now.
And Goff said it's all about tiring teams out. It's been working, and they'll keep riding it until teams can show that they can defend it. Cooper Kupp. And nothing there. He gets angled out. Kaiser White reading the keys, and
he wanted to throw this ball. He had Robert Woods on a deep corner route, and you could see the way that Kupp was carrying the ball. Watch Woods go down the field here, and then take a look at how Goff is handling this ball. Right about here, he thinks he's going to throw that ball. Good coverage in the secondary, and a loss of 3 yards.
He got bracketed and had no choice but to just head towards the sideline once he realized Woods wasn't open. 2nd and 13. They go empty. Goff. The spiral to the outside, and Gurley. So they're using the running back in the passing game, something we've seen a great deal of from the Chargers. And Gurley is an excellent receiver as well. That's 6 yards on the pass and catch.
Yeah, Goff now 7 out of 8, 3 to Woods, 3 to Gurley, and 1 to Higbee.
Gus Bradley's defense now in his second year coordinating it after 4 years as the head coach in Jacksonville, and they're rotating. They're trying to get fresh bodies in there. Under 7 minutes to go here in the first. Rams looking to strike on a 3rd and 7. Goff rifles, caught, touchdown. Brandon Cooks, his first as a Ram. Big play offense on display.
He's famous for his speed, but he also is a complete receiver, making the tough catch over the middle, beating the tight coverage of Casey Hayward, and another bullet by Jared Goff. Remember, Goff missed his first pass of the afternoon, has hit his last 8. Was Cook's knee down? They'll review it because it's a scoring play. Knee may have been down before the ball broke the plane.
Now, there was a moment after the grab waiting on the official word and indicator downstairs, and it took a little while. This play is under review. Was Cooks down before he broke the plane? We'll find out.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. Verizon, the best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network. And by Ford, going further so you can.
Dan, they've changed the call on review. Cook's knee was down, so the Rams have it 1st and goal at the 1. 11th play of the drive. Goff on a give. Gurley pounds it in. Touchdown Rams. They can hurt you so many ways. That was an 80-yard march down the field.
You know, they spread you out, but they still have the power back. And that's why they get into the end zone here. You can see Gurley working his way behind the double team of John Sullivan and Austin Blythe. Blythe, who's done an outstanding job filling in for Jamon Brown at right guard for the Rams.
And Brown is back after a 2-game suspension, but he's not getting his starting job back because Blythe has been so efficient. Sam Ficken in. Ficken was signed earlier this week because of the Greg Zuerlein groin injury. Ficken was with the squad last year for 3 years. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Well, Todd Gurley has been a touchdown machine throughout his NFL career. Rams get on the board, but not with the play they thought put the 7. Brandon Cooks doesn't get his first Ram touchdown. Gurley gets his 40th. J.J. Jones, the return man. Sam Ficken will kick it off for the Rams. And a 7-0 lead. They have the largest point differential in the NFL. Right now, it is 61. A roller out of bounds. So after the touchdown, the Chargers will have excellent field position.
Yeah, they'll start at the 40. Let's go back to the knee down. Watch Cooks. Right about there, the knee goes down. The ball about half a foot, maybe a foot short of the goal line. Excellent call by the officials in replay.
So you're the Chargers, you take over, you're in a 7-0 hole against one of the best offenses in the NFL, and you did nothing with your first series. What's the focus here for Anthony Lynn and company?
Well, just get back to the basics, and let's get Melvin Gordon going a little bit against this Ram defense.
Double tight end set, Green and Culkin. It is Gordon. Cutting to the outside, slashing. Oh, Gordon goes airborne. First down run, impressive from Melvin Gordon.
That looked like Todd Gurley with the high hurdle over the top of a tackler. Watch the speed of Gordon to the outside. Sean Culkin out there, Feeney with a nice job. And now LaMarcus Joyner comes up empty.
Well, it's not a bad track here at the Coliseum, right?
A lot of history here.
Chargers will go empty. And one play, they find themselves at the Rams' 40-yard line. Now they'll shift.
Yes, dribble tiger.
Rivers setting up Gordon behind him on first down. Gordon slips. So they check to a running play, and Gordon goes down. It's a loss of 2.
Friday night, the Trojans beat Washington State here on this field, but the field looks in great condition. He just tried to cut too hard on that right foot, and that's why he went down.
Gordon had a rushing touchdown last week in Buffalo. He had 2 touchdowns receiving. He's become such a dual threat. 58 catches last season.
A real credit to him, too, working hard on his pass-catching skills in the offseason.
2nd and 12. Green, the motion man. Derek Watt in the backfield. Rivers, deep shot from Rivers, over the shoulder. Mike Williams, what a grab! Touchdown, Chargers! Marcus Peters is limping, and Williams is slow to get up. That was spectacular. 42 yards.
Caught a touchdown pass last week against the Bills, but now he just uses his speed and big body and focus. And he lands right down on that right shoulder with the ball securely in his possession. How about this throw? Take that, Marcus Peters, who's got 5 picks on Rivers over the years. Not this time.
Yeah, Williams went down hard and somehow held on to the football.
Well, if he can't go, that puts the Chargers in a real bind. Travis Benjamin is inactive today. And watch how he hits the ground on that right shoulder. But his focus on the ball all the way through the catch.
Yeah, the shoulder, the head, he's woozy. Up on his feet. Pounds the chest.
Big kid, 6'4", 220 pounds. And he will be counted on to provide that type of play for the Chargers.
And when we asked Anthony Lynn about Mike Williams, he said, look, he's healthy. He's having fun again. And his chemistry with Rivers has come along so quickly. He had 11 catches all of last season because of back injury and knee. That's no good. The kicking issues rearing its ugly head again for the Chargers. They get the big touchdown, but yet they still trail by 1. Dan, there have been Vincent Jackson, Malcolm Floyd comparisons for Mike Williams, the 7th overall pick in the 2017 draft. Forget about last year. It's now about this year, and he's a factor.
He's got a bigger body than those guys. He can power through defensive backs. He's going to be very exciting to watch in the red zone because of his tenacity and size.
That 42-yard pass was the longest play of the season for the Chargers. Sturgis, who just missed the extra point, with the kick and a touchback.
Let's go back and check out the coverage here. Here's John Johnson. There's Marcus Peters. And watch it. Looks like it's supposed to be a double team here. But for some reason, 43, Johnson drops his coverage. And that's exactly what Rivers sees. That's why he put it up deep and beat Marcus Peters.
Now, Peters, frustrated, very emotional player. Oftentimes he can ride those emotions into big plays defensively. But he was on the receiving end of a big play from the opposing offense. 7-6 lead for the Rams. 4:42 to play in this first quarter. Rams have it at the 25. Gurley had the touchdown on the last drive. Gurley gets it. Tries to fight through, and he's brought down after the gain of 5 by Mebane, who lost his helmet on the play. Rams had 432 yards against Arizona. They held the Cardinals to 137 yards last week. 5 first downs. That's it. And the majority of those came in garbage time. Fake the jet sweep. Toss it underneath. Gurley is met by Desmond King II. That didn't fool anybody. Loss of 1.
Well, King was lined up right at the line of scrimmage, just waiting for this screen pass. Good job of being patient as a tackler. And then making sure Gurley goes nowhere but down.
Well, this idea, because it popped up this week, that Jared Goff is a system quarterback. What do you think about that?
I think it's a silly statement. Anybody that plays in a successful system is going to be a system quarterback. Tom Brady, a system quarterback? Joe Montana? Of course.
Dime package here for the Chargers on a 3rd and 6. Goff guns it. Complete. Cooper Kupp. And the system is working. He's down at the 40-yard line. 11-yard pickup through the air.
Well, and what's not working is the pass rush for the Chargers. Look at the route here on Desmond King. Good job of freezing the defensive back and then getting his head around to make that catch. But without Joey Bosa, the Rams doing a good job of containing Melvin Ingram. 10 straight completions now for Jared Goff because there's no pass rush by the Chargers.
Bone bruise for Bosa, left foot, and not expected to play this month. Goff play fake. He'll run it. Goff has room. Former baseball player. Dad played in the major leagues and slides for 16 yards.
Yeah, he recognized the two-man coverage. Everybody in man-to-man by the Chargers. And that allows Goff, once he breaks the pocket here, to see a wide-open lane right up the middle. And smartly with a hook slide.
And credit to Andrew Whitworth and the rest of this offensive line. But Whitworth was such a huge addition last year. His experience, his leadership, the oldest left tackle in the league. Fake it. Goff steps up. On time to Robert Woods. Across the 25 for another LA first down.
That's a perfect description of on time. Watch Woods, watch his head get in behind a die there, and the ball right on target. Reaching out with his hands behind him. Good adjustment to a ball slightly off target.
And Woods has been a big target through the first 2 weeks. 18 pass attempts his way. Underneath, Brandon Cooks, game-breaking speed. Knocked out of bounds inside the 5. The bubble screen.
Really no hesitation, too, by Cooks. He catches his ball and he gets it right in behind his blockers. Big Andrew Whitworth, number 77, takes out the cornerback, and then Derwin James prevents Cooks from getting into the end zone.
12 straight completions for Jared Goff.
And 12 first downs already here in the first quarter.
Rams trying to punch it in. 1 minute to go in the quarter. First and goal. Fake the jet sweep. Goff. A strike. Robert Woods. Touchdown Rams.
First touchdown catch of the year for Robert Woods. But the quickness that Goff gets back and gets rid of this. A 3-step drop, about a 3-yard route by Woods. Chargers a little slow on the uptake there. And the Rams are rolling.
Extra point, Sam Ficken. 51 seconds to go here in the first. He knocks it through. 14-6 Rams. You think Robert Woods feels at home here at the Coliseum? The former USC star, all-time leading receiver in Trojans history. He adds to the Rams lead. A high five for everyone.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by NFL Sunday Ticket, only on DirecTV. And by Pizza Hut, official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
Another impressive drive from the Los Angeles Rams. 7 plays, 75 yards. It took 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Capped off by the 3-yard touchdown. Goff to Woods. 13 straight completions for Jared Goff. Ficken kicks it off. And Jones will not return it. We've got LA versus LA today. The last time two NFL teams from Los Angeles met in the regular season, 1994, the Raiders and the Rams played in Anaheim. Head coaches were Chuck Knox and Art Shell. Jeff Hostetler threw 2 touchdown passes, and the Raiders won it 20-17 over the Rams. 24 years ago. Jared Goff will turn 24 in mid-October.
Happy birthday. I think he's celebrating a little bit early here.
Phillip Rivers, the 15-year veteran, 36-year-old. His team now trailing 14-6. Rivers out of the pocket. Rivers, the short dump off. The little dance by Gordon didn't work on Ramik Wilson, who stepped in for the injured Mark Barron once again. Lingering Achilles injury for Barron. He has not practiced since the start of the regular season. 1-yard gain. Austin Eckler now on the field.
Yeah, they'll go with 2 backs on this formation to give the Chargers a little bit more versatility.
Eckler had his career high on the ground last week with 77 yards. Dangerous receiver as he sets up in the slot. Final 10 seconds of the opening quarter. 2nd and 9. Rivers, step and throw. It's Eckler. Modest gain, 2 yards, and that'll be the final play of this first quarter. Ramik Wilson, another tackle. The Battle of LA. Right now it's the Rams with a prolific offense. 14-6. They lead the Chargers. Week 3 of the NFL on CBS. These numbers are eye-popping for the Rams, but we're getting used to them because they're doing it every single week. They were 10th in total offense last season. They're shredding the numbers from a year ago. The Chargers are trying to keep up right now as we start the second quarter. 14-6 Rams. Rivers from the gun on 3rd and 6. Rivers knocked away. He could not get it over Corey Littleton. He was a special team standout who has now stepped in as a starter and has done his job well.
Well, he faked the blitz, then dropped into coverage, and then at 6'3", goes up and swats this one away. That's a heck of an athletic play by a middle linebacker.
Long arms of Littleton, who played a little bit of defensive end in college at Washington. Kaiser will punt it. JoJo Natson, the return man, at his own 19. No rush. Settles under it at the 22. Natson, the shake and bake move to the outside, and he's chopped down short of the 30-yard line. Derek Watt, the play on special teams. Saturday, the best game from the best conference features Tennessee taking on second-ranked Georgia. The Vols and their new head coach, Jeremy Pruitt, look to avenge a tough loss last year against the Bulldogs. College football today kicks off today at 3 Eastern on CBS.
Talking to Jared Goff the other day, they talking about how this tempo is designed to wear their opponent out. It's over 80 degrees here on the in the Coliseum. Warmer, obviously, down on the field. It's working so far.
14 first downs in the first quarter. That's the most in the NFL in the first quarter since '91. Malcolm Brown now getting a rep. Todd Gurley getting a rest. Brown has a hole. Spun down across the 35. Let's check in with Evan Washburn. Evan?
Well, and Dan, to your point, you can sense some frustration settling in for this Chargers defense. And Jaleel Addae brought everyone together and tried to calm things a bit. But the nearly 12 minutes time of possession in that first quarter took its toll. And as we were told by Anthony Lynn, their best defense is their offense. And while they'll take points in any way they can get them, a longer drive would really behoove them at this point.
And Evan, is something that we noticed, a recurring theme in talking to the Chargers. They kept mentioning it. Everybody's calling us underdogs. They were sick and tired of talking about the Rams throughout the prep this week for the LA Bowl. Malcolm Brown with a first down. The problem for the Chargers, there's going to be more Rams talk than ever before if it keeps up the way it's going right now. That's 11 yards on the ground.
Well, let's check out Andrew Whitworth. The Giant, 6'7", 333, 13th year. Look at him run. Gets on the safety, forces Addae to take a bad angle, and Brown's out to midfield.
So a first down at the 48. Rams are on the move again. A minute and a half gone by here in the second quarter. They lead by 8. Over 200 yards of offense. Trickery. Robert Woods slicing. Woods, the cut. And flags down, 2 of them. first down run for Woods.
Now you would suspect an illegal block here on the outside against the Rams.
Holding. Offense. Number 77. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And it is Whitworth. You think Sean McVay's having fun calling these plays?
Well, he really enjoys football. He told us he loves football, and he wants to get more involved. So he's spent more time with the defense and with special teams, but he's 100 miles an hour, maybe 110 miles an hour all the time, and that has really rubbed off. You see how fast the Rams are playing on both sides of the ball.
And he told us, I don't manage players. I work with players, and there's a distinction. They feel like they're part of the process. After the penalty, backs them up. Give us to Brown. Malcolm Brown, the backup, with a spin move and a first down. Brown in his third year from Texas, undrafted free agent, formerly of the practice squad. That's 14 yards.
Now, real good job by that offensive line of the Rams. They're just pushing back the Chargers, double teaming at the point of attack, and both Brown and Gurley benefiting.
Yeah, and normally, Dan, you call out one or two offensive linemen with a key block. That's the entire offensive line getting it done through the hands of Gurley. And that ends the streak for Jared Goff. He had gone 13 straight completions, which tied his personal high.
And this is a good ball. Just a little bit out of the reach. I don't think Gurley was quite ready for it. That's in slow motion, and that ball came a little bit quicker than he expected.
2nd and 10 for the Rams. 12-11 to play in this first half. The record, by the way, for the Rams is 19 straight completions. Case Keenum back in 2016. Higbee sets up as a receiver on the outside. On 2nd down. Goff. Engulfed. Back at the 45. It's Mebane.
And this is Mebane's first sack of the year as he's working against Sullivan. Just pushes him right back into the pocket. Good protection to begin with, but good coverage in the secondary. You can see the desperate quarterback looking around and not finding anybody.
LA native, still effective at the age of 33, takes on a lot of double teams, clogging up the middle. Dime package here for the Chargers on a 3rd and 14 for the Rams. Back at the 44-yard line. Play clock was winding down. Did they get it off in time? Was a timeout called?
Timeout, I think. John
Officials.
McVay all over it.
John Hussey.
Before the snap, timeout, Rams.
So another timeout called by LA. Sean McVay, now in his 2nd year as a head coach. And when you sit down with him, you have to remind yourself that he is a young guy. How young is he? Well, let's take you back. 2004, Philip Rivers was 22 years old. Yeah, he was really happy.
He looks the same, though.
He pretty much does. The haircut was a little Lloyd Christmas. Sean McVay that year was 18 years old. He was a high school senior at Marist School in Brookhaven, Georgia. He had the Bieber before Bieber. 3rd and 14.
Good Hollywood references there.
Well, look at our locale. They are 4 of 4 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and long. Goff. Deep ball. Brandon Cooks hauls it in. Nope, waved off. Casey Hayward, the Pro Bowler, with him.
They may get Hayward, though, for illegal contact at about the 28-yard line. Is where the flag is laying there. It was a little stop-and-go route by Cooks.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact, defense. That penalty is 5 yards, automatic first down. The illegal contact.
There was contact on Hayward that drew the penalty. But watch the end of this. Hayward is going to prevent a long gain for the Rams by pulling the arms away from the ball of Brandon Cooks. Watch him reach out, get that left arm.
Cook's previous stints with New Orleans and New England, we asked what did he learn about being a part of those two franchises. He said, you got to be a student of the game. It's not just about knowing your job. You have to understand how it all works. He has become a more complete receiver, not just a burner. Fake the jet sweep. Sliding through is Gurley, and he carries to the 35. That's a pickup of 4 for the Rams.
You talk to opposing defensive coordinators about Gurley, and they say, well, he's a tremendous combination of power and the ability to jump cut, and his receiving makes him the complete back.
Goff in the pocket. Plenty of time. Goff hooks a pass to Higbee. Along the sideline, it's a clean catch. Terrific effort. 20-yard hookup.
Terrific catch, terrific placement of the ball by Goff. He's 6'6", so go up over the top of the rookie, Kaiser White, who's 6'2".
Goff is in a rhythm. That's a short pass underneath to Robert Woods. You think about where Jared Goff was 2 years ago to now. Well, first of all, 2 years ago, he wasn't playing at that point. He gets in halfway point of his rookie season, and it didn't look like he belonged. He was the #1 overall pick.
Well, the system, if you want to call it system, was terrible. And the Rams record showed it. McVay comes in, gives him constant tutoring, along with Zach Taylor, a former quarterback in Nebraska. And his confidence level couldn't be higher.
From the gun. Goff, the protection. Nobody near him. Goff will toss it through the back of the end zone.
Yeah, they tell you as a quarterback, once you get to 8 seconds, it's like riding the bull. You know? You better throw it away or the bull's going to get you.
I saw Urban Cowboy with John Travolta.
You know the name of the bull?
No. No, I didn't learn the name of the bull.
That surprises me. You can watch the receivers trying to break free. Great job in the secondary by the Chargers. And no penalties. A lot of times you'll see penalties in this area of the field when the quarterback has that much time.
On third down. Goff to the end zone. Intercepted. Picked off by Derwin James. The rookie continues to impress. And the Rams come up empty. James steps in front for the INT.
And what promises to be one of many interceptions in his career, he turns the Rams away. Look at the reach on James for the pick.
Everett, the intended receiver. I think it's been a smooth transition for Derwin James out of Florida State. What a steal he's turned out to be at number 17 overall. So he gets the pick. The only problem, he went out at the 1, didn't stay in the end zone. Melvin Gordon, fortunate that he got out of the end zone.
This is a real lazy route by Gerald Everett, trying to go to the corner, and an easy read by number 33, James. Watch, Everett doesn't even appear to realize he may be the primary receiver there. Didn't force James to concerned about going to the post. There he steps out at the 1, and that's where the Chargers are still on second down.
They had just told him that he was out at the 1. He looked up, he couldn't believe it. He thought he was still in the confines of the end zone when he made the pick. So the Chargers are pinned deep in their own territory. They go with an extra offensive lineman here. They're playing without Joe Barksdale once again today. Sam Tebby starting at right tackle. Trent Scott, the extra lineman. Look out. Gordon keeps the legs churning, driven backwards. If he got out by a minuscule amount. And Ndamukong Suh is waving his finger, indicating, no, we got him in the end zone.
This might be worth a challenge by Sean McVay. Right down the line here. Let's see where they stop Gordon. The ball is out. That's a good call. His forward progress was stopped about 6 inches from the goal line.
And that's where they place the football. Trying to run on Donald, Suh, Longacre.
Right up the middle, too. Not going to happen.
3rd and 10. Green in motion. Rivers, protection. Rivers tosses to the outside and does not get any breathing room as Melvin Gordon gets drilled by Ramik Wilson, the former Chief. A 3-yard pickup. It's 4th down.
You just don't have a lot of time to hold the ball normally, but when you're in your own end zone, throwing out of a well, very difficult to buy time to find a receiver down the field against this man-to-man defense.
Blocked! Kaiser had it blocked, and the Rams get their points anyway. Corey Littleton. And Kaiser is down.
Now this is a jailbreak right up the middle. There's Littleton. Talked about him being 6'3" and very athletic. Tremendous job of laying out. Watch 58 here with a little stunt move there, working with Blake Countess. Countess did a good job of occupying two blockers, releasing Littleton for this smother job.
Oh, and it wasn't even close.
And who gets the touchdown but Blake Countess?
So all the Chargers did was prolong the inevitable. They got the pick from James, but the Rams were going to get their touchdown one way or the other. And Kaiser got caught in the middle there. Littleton's helmet crashed into Kaiser, and he is struggling.
Such a good punter, too. So important in field position for the Chargers. This could be a very significant injury.
Third in the NFL last season at 48.1 yards per kick, and a noticeable limp for the former Texas A&M standout. We mentioned Littleton. He made his name on special teams before he was ever a starter on defense.
Well, you could see that, his patience to loop around and then lay out right in front of the punter.
Extra point is right down the middle for Sam Ficken. So the Rams, they can get you on offense, they can get you on defense, they can get you on special teams. Serious collision down low. Littleton with a block. Countess the recovery. Touchdown, Rams.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. McDonald's. And by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925.
Drew Kaiser is being carted off. Caleb Sturgis, the kicker, has one punt in his NFL career. They had Shane Trapuka, another Texas A&M product, in camp, part of the preseason roster, kicked in the preseason, so you wonder if he becomes a factor again if this Kaiser injury is serious.
Now the personal protector is Adrian Phillips, number 31. Here's Mike Wint, the center. Watch this stunt here, and Phillips now is in a dilemma. Which guy do you take? He takes Countess. Littleton gets the block. Countess gets the touchdown.
And the helmet banged up against the right leg of Kaiser. Third block punt for a touchdown since the start of last season. The Rams, you combine all the other teams, and they match the same number. That's how good they've been under John Fossil in his 8th year with the Rams running the special teams. Phillip Rivers on first down, now down 21-6. Batted, nearly intercepted. Ramik Wilson got his hands on it.
Yeah, and Ndamukong Suh got his hand on it as well. Suh at 6'4", working right in the middle here. Watch the right hand there. That sends the ball end over end. Wilson had tremendous coverage on Keenan Allen.
Well, the Rams went for it during the offseason. They signed Ndamukong Suh to a one-year, $14 million deal. They locked up Aaron Donald to one of the richest deals in NFL history, 6 years, $135 million. They're so strong up the middle. That's where Eckler takes it. And then when you have Wade Phillips at the helm of that defense, pushing the buttons, getting everybody involved, this has a chance to be one of the most complete teams that we've seen in quite some time, all phases.
And there's no area of the field that Rivers can really feel comfortable throwing the ball, because you got these two shutdown corners in Talib and Marcus Peters.
Dime package, Roby Coleman and Marquis Christian in. This is a 3rd and 4 with a 4-receiver set. Rivers from the gun, in trouble. Avoids it and finds his old friend Antonio Gates for a first down. Into Rams territory at the 42. Old Reliable for 27 yards.
And Marcus Peters is down. He had coverage on Gates. Gates on the right side of the screen will run a corner route. And he runs into Peters, and Peters still being attended to.
So the initial hit by Johnson, Gates handled that. And then eventually forced down by Christian. But the concern right now is for Peters. So again, mentioning what the Rams did during the offseason, in addition to signing the long-term contract with Donald and getting Sue in play, Peters added via trade with Kansas City. Aqib Talib added via trade with Denver. Talking about a 5-time Pro Bowler in Talib, 2 Pro Bowls for Peters, now in just his 4th year in the NFL. And Peters needs help. He cannot put any weight on that right leg.
And another smart move by the Rams, though, is to pick up Sam Shields, 7-year veteran who missed all of 16 and most of 17.
No, Shields had not played in a game prior to the last week since September of 16. Shields was out of football because of concussions, and now plays a very valuable role in the absence of Peters. Chargers moving the ball. Tyrell Williams in motion in Rams territory with 6:22 to go in this first half. Rivers steps up, avoids it, glances off the hand of Gordon. It's incomplete. Philip Rivers, one of the more animated players in the league.
He's so knowledgeable about the game and pass routes and whatnot. That time he wasn't happy with the route that Melvin Gordon ran. He expected him to cut to the other side of the field. And then with the pressure, Rivers had to fire one.
Second and 10 for the Chargers. They trail 21-6. Just 105 yards of offense. But you have to get Keenan Allen involved. And now they will. And Allen looks to throw it. His brother was a quarterback. He's not. Dumped at the 49 by Westbrooks. Keenan Allen did not have an open man downfield.
Well, Tyrell Williams is his first shot, and then it's going to be Eckler down the sideline here. But watch how deep the Rams are playing, and they're not fooled at all. Tremendous job by Talib there to make it difficult for Allen to even see Williams at the goal line. And he loses 7 yards on the play.
Third and 17 for the Chargers. Deep drop for Rivers. A rainbow. Keenan Allen's got it for a first down across the 25. Rivers took a shot from Abukum and still released it for 25.
Boy, he did take a shot too. But how about Allen between 2 defenders? There's Shields in front, and in the back is Joyner. Shields mistimes his jump, or it would have been a pick.
His brother Zach Maynard was the QB at Cal. Allen was on the receiving end of some big plays and has turned into one of the elite receivers in this game. NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Rivers floats it upstairs, incomplete. Gates in the area. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, let's start with Marcus Peters. This does not look good. It's his right foot, and look, they are testing that Achilles area and the lower portion of the calf. Nothing official from the team yet, but that was the area they were monitoring. As for Drew Casey, the punter who went down, he's still in the locker room. As you mentioned, Ian, Caleb Sturgis would be your punter. It was his right shin that was severely affected by that helmet.
And having that Peters situation is immense. Such a big part of this defense. and the flexibility they have because they can put him on an island. 2nd and 10. Rivers in stride. Makes the connection with Keenan Allen. And the Chargers picking up chunks of yards.
Yeah, the eyes of Rivers finding Allen all the way. And this type of throwing motion, you don't want to practice this at home. Only his son Gunnar can imitate his dad.
Well, it's in the genes.
It certainly is.
But you said when you saw it coming out of college, don't mess with it. Because scouts were talking about messing with it.
Well, they said, you know, it's really funky. It's not going to hold up. I went and did a little research. I did.
You
research.
did it.
And I saw that his completion percentage was over 70%.
And that's all you needed to research.
What's wrong with his throwing motion? He's over 70% so far this season.
The Chargers take a timeout. So 2 remaining, 4-minute mark of this second quarter. It'll be a 3rd and 1 for the Chargers.
It's unique. Just like a little shot put. And because he doesn't have to bring his arm all the way back or forward, he gets rid of the ball faster. And that's the key to his success.
Yeah, you would think maybe because of that motion, balls would be batted down at the line of scrimmage, but he's 6'5", so it's still coming from a good angle.
But he has had 2 blocked today.
He has.
One by Littleton, one by Sue. So it does happen. Not very often, though.
3rd and 1. Trying to keep this drive alive. They fake the jet sweep and give it to Gordon for a 1st down. They'll move the chains, inching closer to the 10. 4-yard gain for Melvin Gordon III. 6 carries, 26 yards for Gordon. He came out of the same draft, 2015, as Todd Gurley. Gurley was the 10th pick from Georgia. Gordon was the 15th pick out of Wisconsin.
And this is the area of field where Rivers is getting more and more comfortable with Mike Williams. Hit him on a touchdown pass last week against the Bills in the red zone.
Anthony Lynn, a former running back himself. 10th play of the drive. Pitch it. Gordon looking for blockers. Zigzag move. Gordon dives for the touchdown. A block from his former college teammate, Derek Watt. The Badger block.
And Watt playing with a cast on his left hand. Watch him get out in front here. Number 34 cutting down Ebukam. And then the athletic ability to spin away from Joyner and get inside the pylon for the score.
Boy, did they ever need that. Sturgis on for the extra point. No reason to chase points here after missing the extra point earlier. Anthony Lynn not going for 2. And look who's holding. Philip Rivers.
Good job, Philip Rivers.
He's going back to his roots.
He's got to be the most expensive holder in the history of the National Football League.
They signed their holder to an immense deal a number of years ago. But made it look like he belonged there. 10 plays, 75 yards. The big play, Rivers to Gates on 3rd down to keep it alive. The shin injury to Drew Kaiser, the punter, forced a new holder in, and it was Philip Rivers, not Geno Smith, the backup quarterback.
Or anybody else.
Sturgis kicks it off. It's now 21-13 Rams. Natson will take it out of the end zone, 6 yards deep. Natson trying to get to the outside, forced right between the hash marks and dropped at the 17-yard line. Well, Gurley, Gordon, Ezekiel Elliott, if you're just looking at most scrimmage touchdowns since the 2016 season, those are the top 3 guys. And Gurley, such a big part of this Rams offense. Gordon, because he's developed his skills as a receiver, has become a bigger part of the Chargers' home.
And remember, Gordon did not score his rookie year.
8-point lead for the Rams, just over 3 minutes to go. First half. Gurley on a cut to the outside. Again, this offensive line creating space for Gurley. 6.5, depending on the spot.
Yeah, he was 5 yards across the line of scrimmage before a Charger was even close to him. Tremendous push by the left side of that Ram line.
2nd and 3. A steady diet of Gurley. Desmond King in on that stop, picks up 2, 3rd and short. Darius Philon also in there, and Rams are in no hurry here. That's the other part that Sean McVay talked about. They like to change tempos to keep defenses off balance. They've got the flexibility to do it because McVay believes he's got a very smart group.
And they've only really been stopped by themselves here in the first half. The Gurley fumble, the Goff interception. They're 4 of 5 converting on 3rd downs. This one will be critical.
2 minutes to play, first half, 21-13 in LA. Rams in front.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cowher. Latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Big 3rd and 1 here. If the Chargers can stop the Rams, they cannot. Gurley, the first down. Aggressively going through with Saffold and Sullivan providing the block. 6-yard gain.
Yeah, a good double team at the point of attack and just pushing the Chargers back, and Gurley picked it up easily.
And the Rams back to speeding things up with 1:40 to go in the 2nd quarter. Goff comfortable in the pocket. Tosses. Oh, a perfect throw! Robert Woods working the perimeter into Chargers territory.
And taking on the Chargers' best corner, Casey Hayward, with a short zone, and over the top was Derwin James. Beautiful throw to Woods.
Goff tosses to Cooper Kupp, and he is out of bounds. Rams have 1 timeout remaining, 1:27 to play, and a 4-yard pickup.
Inching down the field, stopping the clock. That throw by Goff was spectacular, and then Kupp hustling to get out of bounds.
21-13 Rams. They face a 2nd and 6. They can put more points on the board before the break. Jared Goff pulls the trigger. Good enough for a first down. He threw it low to Brandon Cook, so the defender couldn't get there. 6 yards on the hookup.
Yeah, tough catch there by Cooks. He went down low to secure the catch, and now back to the line of scrimmage.
Still plenty of time, just over a minute left. Goff underneath. Everett the grab. And got hit from the side by Jaleel Adai. 3-yard gain. We are under a minute left now in the first half.
Chargers blitzing that time and not getting anywhere near Goff as he quickly got it to Everett.
From the 33. Cooper Kupp out of bounds.
The Chargers are allowing the Rams to run these out routes. That's 4 of them. 3 of them have resulted in the clock stopping.
Yeah, Gus Bradley's team playing off here. Short dump offs.
And the question is for the Rams, what is the range for Sam Ficken?
Well, he doesn't have a professional resume. Go back to his Penn State days. Pre-game, he missed one from 51. He missed one from 53. 3rd and 4. Goff, nice hands. An adjustment by Everett. Flag down. Everett gets the first down. Is it going to hold up?
No, Everett pushed off. Up to that point, Goff had been a perfect 5 for 5 on the drive.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 17. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Actually, it's a pick route. Watch Woods come in here working in tandem.
They drove Hayward away from the play. And that changes things. Now the line of scrimmage is the 39-yard line. And Sam Ficken right now is staring at a 57-yard field goal. I don't believe that Sean McVay is going to try that. 32 seconds left. But a 3rd and 14. 302 yards of offense in the first half for the Rams. Goff, shotgun, rush coming. Goff unloads. It's caught just across the 30-yard line by Cooks. Not enough for a first down, but gets them into range here after the gain of 11. They're not sending the kicker out. It's 4th and 3.
Yeah, they still have one timeout, and they're going to just let this clock go all the way down and bring out Sam Ficken. You know, on his first extra point of the day, he kicked it really low. And that's got to be a concern. And then he followed that up with a kickoff out of bounds. So maybe feeling the jitters here in his first action with the Rams.
Had a cup of coffee with him last year. 54-yard field goal. That's his longest at Penn State. Ficken signed on Monday. Zuerlein went down in pregame warmups with that groin injury. So Johnny Hecker, the punter, Pro Bowl punter, had to step in and handle the kicking duties.
And then Cooper Kupp had to handle the handling duties.
This is from 46 yards away for Ficken. Hecker will hold it. And a timeout called, and he got a little rehearsal in, and he missed it to the left. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cowher, all the latest NFL scores and highlights, all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Nate's got that salmon blazer going in the studio.
Is it salmon or coral?
I don't know. We're going to have to text Nate to find out for sure.
What's it smell like?
Well, I haven't smelled it yet. We can ask Boomer. 4 seconds left. And Ficken gets to do it for real. Two-time Pro Bowler Jake McQuaid will snap it from 46 yards away. Overcompensates and missed it to the right. End of the first half at the Coliseum.
Well, his rehearsal went wide left, and as you said, Ian overcompensating, pushing it wide right. And the Rams continue with a fumble, interception, and now another missed opportunity. Goes by the board and the post.
End of the first half. And the Rams in front, 21-13. Nate has confirmed it is salmon. We'll have the halftime coming up after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station. Getting ready for the start of the second half. The Rams leading the Chargers 21-13. Let's take a look at the first half highlight presented by DirecTV. The punt from Kaiser did not have a chance. Littleton comes in to block it. Christian on the recovery.
Yeah, it's really the Rams have hurt themselves in a number of spots. That was a key play because before that it just had an interception that the Chargers picked off. But, you know, the Chargers got to be feeling pretty good about themselves at this point. They get the opening kickoff of the second half. They've got momentum right now. But, you know, with the Rams' high-powered offense, I don't know if you can score enough points.
We've had a little bit of everything so far here in Los Angeles. The Chargers will have it at the 25-yard line. Let's get a report from Evan Washburn.
Yeah, and that included a number of injuries there down the stretch in the second quarter. Let's start with the most serious. Marcus Peters, they're calling it a right ankle injury. Return questionable at this point. Did not see him come out of the locker room. His calf was also a concern. Dominique Easley, a knee injury. He's also questionable. So 2 starters for the Rams. Good news for the Chargers, though. Drew Kaiser's back available, the punter. And as for Anthony Lynn, he said, we just have to bring more defensively. 84% completion percentage can't be the case here in the second half for Goff.
All right, Evan, 21-13. Rams lead it. Gordon hits the hole and turns it upfield with Virgil Green providing a block. And it's a 6.5-yard gain for Melvin Gordon III.
Yeah, nice job with Green working with Russell Okung there on the left side, and that's a real good momentum-building type of play to come out of the locker room with.
Chargers practice facility is in Costa Mesa, Orange County. Rams practice facility over in Thousand Oaks, Ventura County. First official Battle of LA between these two teams since coming back to Los Angeles. Rivers deflected. Trying to hit Gordon. It's incomplete.
That was a throwaway by Rivers. He saw that on that screen pass that the Rams were all over it. And he had to throw that ball into the ground.
Philip Rivers, not the Rivers-like numbers we've seen. He's 7 of 14, 110 yards and a touchdown. Dime package for the Rams. Mike Williams, Antonio Gates now in. And they'll spread it on 3rd and 4. Shotgun. Rivers steps, hooks a pass, low but handled. Antonio Gates, first down, Chargers. 13 yards on the pitch and catch.
And a couple of catches now for Gates. A little hesitation there, pushing off on Sam Shields. I mean, this is why he's going to be in Canton, Ohio someday. Just the ability to work over the middle, and his relationship with his quarterback is spot on.
And that's 41 yards now receiving for the 16-year veteran. New set of downs for the Chargers to work with. They handle the rush. Rivers, a bullet to Keenan Allen. Allen juggled the football at the end, and Joyner's got it for the Rams.
Aqib Talib stripped Keenan Allen as he was reaching to pick up the first down. Really a heads-up play by Talib here. Watch the stretch for the first down, and the ball coming out before the knees hit the ground. And Joyner in contact with Allen on the ground. That's why he cannot advance this ball. Really a veteran move by Aqib Talib.
Talib familiar with Keenan Allen after all those battles in the AFC West. Talib's prior stint with Denver, before that New England and Tampa Bay. Won a Super Bowl with the Broncos and just made a huge play for the Rams. Rams take over at their own 45. Running play, Todd Gurley.
And you know, you go back to the play by Talib there. He gets beat on the pass play, but doesn't give up. He stays close to Allen and reaches from behind to pop the ball loose. Didn't quit on the play, and it was rewarded with a fumble forced.
2nd and 8 for Goff and the Rams. Goff is 21 of 25, 216 yards, a touchdown and a pick in the end zone. Straight back. Goff has the time, dropped. Try to get it in for Brandon Cooks. And it sets up 3rd and 8 now for the Rams.
Yeah, just a little bit off target here. Clear throwing lane and a drop pass. You won't see Brandon Cooks drop many like that. Strong hands.
Well, the thing that Sean McVay pointed out about Goff, he said he's unfazed. Good or bad happens, doesn't matter. He's the same, and that affects the team in a positive way. He's got a short memory and moves on. 3rd and 8. He's looking at a dime package from the Chargers. Goff steps up, feels the rush, unloads downfield. Fighting, Cooper Kupp breaks away. Touchdown Rams. Jared Goff extends the play, and then Cooper Kupp does the rest. 53 yards.
Tremendous effort by Goff in the pocket. Uchenna Nwosu, the rookie from USC, has got a bead on him. Keeping his eyes down the field, now feeling the pressure. Watch 42 come in here from behind and throwing on the dead run. Hits Kupp, and Kupp pulls away for the score.
Trevor Williams holding on for dear life and could not bring down Kupp.
What a throw by Goff. Under pressure, moving up in the pocket to hit a receiver running away from him down the field.
Extra point from Ficken. That is a game-changing play. It was 3rd down. The Chargers are trying to get their defense off the field. Well, now their defense is off the field because Kupp took it the whole way. The Rams, celebration mode. They lead at 28-13. 3 plays, 55 yards. It takes 51 seconds. Cooper Kupp, so savvy in just his second year, and he and Goff developed their chemistry last year.
And that's how you build chemistry between your defense and your offense. They get the turnover, you put the points on the board.
Sam Ficken kicks it off. J.J. Jones had a big preseason for the Chargers and not going to take it out. Eckler indicated no.
It's been an outstanding afternoon for number 16. 22 of 27 for 81% completion rate. Only 1 sack on the day. He did throw an interception in the end zone, but he's dealing the ball to 6 different receivers and then makes a fabulous throw to Cooper Kupp.
And such a dispiriting sequence for the Chargers. They were moving the football on the Rams' first possession of the second half, trailing 21-13. They turned it over, and then the Rams turned it into 7 points. See how the Chargers respond. Pitch it to Gordon. Looking for the angle. And kept the legs moving as Roby Coleman ranged over defensively. Turns it into a 3-yard pickup.
A lot of time left in the game, obviously, so no reason to panic and just start throwing the ball every down. You still have a dangerous runner in Melvin Gordon. And the pass protection has been pretty good for Rivers. He's only been sacked once this afternoon.
Last time the Chargers played at the Coliseum in a regular season game, September of '94, a 26-24 win over the then LA Raiders. Rush coming. The sling from Rivers is incomplete. Looking for Mike Williams, and it sets up 3rd and 7 now for the Chargers.
Yeah, pretty good pressure that time by Corey Littleton on the blitz. That forced Rivers to back up and throw an off-target pass.
Rivers is now 9 of 17 for 134 yards and a touchdown, making his 195th consecutive start. And 349 career touchdowns, 6th all-time behind Dan Marino, who's 5. Rivers, first down. Tyrell Williams. Gang tackled along the sideline, but forward progress will get him to the 40. That'll move the chains after the gain of 13.
Tyrell Williams, that's his first catch of the day. He's so good with just his blazing speed, but he'll run an in and out route from the right side of the screen. And you see as Talib in the trail position actually gives him extra yardage here by pulling him right there forward and allowing him to take his momentum for the first down.
Line of scrimmage is now the 40. Back to the ground game. Eckler squeezes through. Big play. Eckler still going. Finally dragged down inside the 30. Austin Eckler, the D2 product, 32 yards with the rip.
Well, right side here, Schofield and Tevy in the circle. The double team here on Brockers, and the quickness of Eckler. Career-long rush here, and watch how smartly he covers up here at the end, breaking this tackle, and then knowing trouble's coming, puts both arms on that ball.
And it's not fair to call him a change of pace back. The roles are now a little less defined in the NFL at the running back spot. Rivers underneath. So he gets Virgil Green involved on first down for 6. Aaron Donald had pressure on Philip Rivers, and one of the biggest challenges you face is when you go against Aaron Donald. Our own Evan Washburn did a one-on-one with Donald that appeared on the NFL Today. You know it's a big-time interview when you get the walk and talk.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go one-on-one with Aaron Donald. Evan's smart, you know, he's brave, isn't he?
He is. He handled it.
He did.
And Donald is actually a really likable guy off the field. He said when he puts the helmet on, he becomes a different person.
They all do.
Melvin
Especially
Gordon.
that guy, 93.
Sue is there to meet Gordon. Donald working alongside Ndamukong Suh.
And give the Chargers offensive line some credit. Look at that job by Russell Okung there. turning Donald to the outside.
So a 3rd and 1 here for the Chargers. The ball is spotted just inside the 20. They trail the Rams 28-13. It's a long one. Eckler, the motion man. They give it to him. Does he have the speed to get there? He couldn't get to the marker. There was a high traffic area, and Austin Eckler tried to spill through it to no avail.
Yeah, Samson Ekobon first, and then Sam Shields going to clean him up. Watch number 50 string this out, and then Shields with a perfect tackle with his head across the front of the runner, legally with a shot to the ribs and out of bounds.
Shields in for the injured Marcus Peters, out with an ankle injury. And what do you do here? The Chargers have made their decision. They're going to go for it on 4th and short and spread it with 5 receivers.
Keep your eye on number 85, Antonio Gates.
Gordon shifts to the backfield. Out of the gun. Rivers looking for it all. Caught, extending. Mike Williams, touchdown, Chargers. They take a risk, and it pays off. 2nd of the day for Mike Williams.
Well, Rivers sees what he likes here. He's got Williams on the safety. Joyner late coming over. And the big body at 6'4", 220. Stretching and hitting the goal line for the touchdown.
Extra point time, as Evan reported. Drew Kazer's okay. So he's back holding for the Chargers. Rivers did it for 1 extra point, and Caleb Sturgis connects. We got a ball game in LA. Phillip Rivers is dealing his 2nd touchdown to Mike Williams. It's 28-20. Rams.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Corona Extra. Find your beach. State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by the new super powerful Samsung Galaxy Note 9.
Strong showing by the Chargers offense. 8 plays, 75 yards. Took 4 minutes and 20 seconds. And Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the day. JoJo Natson is out with a hand injury, so this is Blake Countess on the return. And Countess hit hard as he crossed the 20-yard line. That's where the Rams will have it by Nick DeZugnard.
Well, Tyrell Williams and Antonio Gates are here, and they affect LaMarcus Joyner. As Williams goes to the corner, look how late Joyner is to come over here. In fact, Williams almost had to hesitate a little bit on that pass. That's how wide open he was. The Charger fans are going to see a lot of that combination in the future. Rivers loves that big body and that athletic ability of Mike Williams.
So the Chargers have answers here for the Rams each time they've connected. Todd Gurley gets the call for 5. Combination of Mebane and Philon bring him down. We mentioned Joey Bosa still out. Corey Liuget still sitting, 4-game suspension for performance-enhancing drugs. And the news this week that Liuget is suing his ex-trainer for $15 million after that positive test. 2nd and 5 here for the Rams. Gurley does not have huge numbers. 12 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown. He has 4 catches for 26 yards. Fake it. Goff through the air, low. Didn't have enough on it to Robert Woods. And it's 3rd down for the Rams.
Yeah, Woods wide open along the sidelines, and this pass just gets out of spiral on Jared Goff. He saw the coverage on the inside by White, 44 coming over, and tried to throw him a back shoulder. Came up way short.
Johnny Hecker is yet to punt today for the Rams. Trying to convert here on a 3rd and 5. They are 6 of 8 on 3rd down conversions today. They lead it 28-20 against the Chargers. Goff out of the pocket, on the move. He's got his man, Robert Woods, and it's good enough for a first down. Jatavis Brown with a tackle, the linebacker, and it covers 7 yards.
And he went 7 yards with his route. Needed 5, went the extra 2 yards so that when he caught the ball, all he had to do was go down, and he has got a first down.
Woods has become such a reliable target for Goff. Goff, the long ball, nearly intercepted. Dye had a shot at it with a flag thrown.
Yeah, going to be holding in the secondary against the Chargers.
And Goff took a shot from Derwin James on the release.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 20. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And it's Desmond King on the hold. So that's 4 penalties costing the Chargers 30 yards. The Rams 2 accepted penalties for 20 yards. Just under 7 minutes to go here in the third.
You saw Derwin James coming on the blitz that time. He's got 2 sacks on the season, showing versatility, playing deep and also towards the line of scrimmage as he is now.
First down for the Rams at the 40. Floater, Gurley. A lot of room for Todd Gurley. Flags down and Gurley is out of bounds.
Yeah, they're going to get Robert Woods for holding in the secondary, but this was after, I believe, Gurley had picked up enough yardage for the first down. That was a super catch by Gurley. And then on the screen, way down the field, Robert Woods is going to get called.
Holding, offense, number 17, 10-yard penalty, first down.
He's going to hook the defensive back. Jalil Adai right there. And Adai with a Oscar performance there.
Well, where are we?
Hollywood, baby.
Adai sold it. And they're going to place the football at the 45-yard line. So it goes down as a 25-yard catch. Malcolm Brown is in, and he sets up as a receiver. Now shifts to the backfield, flanking Goff. Jet sweep. Little toss to Cooks. The acceleration, Brandon Cooks, who was a track star at Oregon State. You just see how shifty he can be. 15 yards and elusive.
And he's going to run right through the tackle of Jalil Adai. Right side of the screen, Adai comes in, but the speed, the little burst there at the end, that's the shortest pass completion you'll ever see.
Yeah, Goff will take it because he's now at 316 yards through the air. 2 touchdowns and a pick. And now the Rams slowing it down, making sure everybody's on the same page here. They catch their breath. Play action. Goff too high on the screen pass. Malcolm Brown, the intended target.
A lot of screen passes have been very good for the Rams today. That one under pressure. Goff got rid of it before Malcolm Brown was ready for it. Chargers starting to get better pressure on Goff.
Sean McVay, who has a photographic memory, but acknowledged to us it only comes in football and plays. It doesn't come in everyday life. He doesn't remember what he had for lunch on Tuesday.
So it's not really photographic.
Well, it's football photographic. Ooh.
Hey.
Copyright that.
I'll be right back.
That's 2nd and 10. Rams moving the football again. Goff hits Brandon Cooks. Sliding first down grab inside the 15.
6 catches now for Brandon Cooks. This one is spectacular between James and Adai.
Snap it quickly. Goff. Another catch underneath for Cooks. Hit immediately on the play. Denzel Perriman coming over to make the stop. We approach 5 minutes to go here in the third.
Rams just love the energy and attitude of Brandon Cooks. Tremendous attention to detail. The little things really mean something to him. You can see how he's become a total receiver, just not a deep threat.
9th play of the drive. Rams can add to their lead. Gurley in the backfield. Woods goes in motion. Give it to Gurley. Steamrolls. Gurley fights for extra yards. It's a 1st and goal. This offensive line, they are a bunch of road graders.
Watch Havenstein, number 79, get down the field on the rookie White. And look at the spin move by Gurley.
First and goal for the Rams. This drive has been pass heavy. To Gurley. Blown up. Phylon. A loss of 3.
Watch this move right here by Darius Phylon. Swim move to the inside, beats Blythe, and punishes Gurley.
Good burst by Phylon, who has seen added responsibility in the absence of Legion. Second and goal. 11th play of the drive. Goff from the gun. Goff looks, tosses, touchdown, Robert Woods. Goff with another slingshot.
They ran this play in the first quarter. Same result. Left side of the screen, watch Woods, 17, little pivot route right there, and then backing into the end zone and beating the rookie White. If it works once, let's try it again. They did, and it paid off.
Jared Goff has 3 touchdowns today, 342 yards. And the extra point here from Sam Ficken. He curves it through. The Rams 35, the Chargers 20. Los Angeles Rams explosive. Tomorrow on CBS, one name says it all. Magnum P.I. Don't miss the series premiere. That's tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Chargers now trail 35-20. J.J. Jones is the deep man. Dan, the Rams have 450 yards of offense. We still have 3:19 to play in the third quarter.
And they're right on their average per game at 35.
Returnable for Jones. Jones has a lane, tripped up.
Ficken with a tackle.
Sam Ficken getting in there to make sure Jones didn't take it the distance.
Well, if he doesn't make the tackle, this is going to be a touchdown. Really good return by the Chargers, and there's the tackle by Ficken. Well, that's a moment of truth there for a kicker, isn't it?
QB numbers. It is the young gun out dueling the veteran right now, Jared Goff. 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to Woods. Shotgun for Rivers. Crossing route, Tyrell Williams. He got hit from behind, and actually it propelled him for extra yards. Ramik Wilson going down low, and no injury there. A little slow to get up was Aqib Talib, and
yeah, he grabbed his left ankle.
Oh boy. They've already lost Marcus Peters to an ankle injury. It looked like Talib got up okay, but ooh, right underneath there.
Yeah, both ankles could have taken a shot there.
He grabbed the left one after he got caught underneath. Troy Hill is now in at cornerback along with Sam Shields. Melvin Gordon gets the call. No game. So it's 3rd and 1 for the Chargers. They're giving Talib some shade, and he's meeting with the medical staff.
And shade is not always a good thing.
No. Depends on the context. 3rd and 1. We approach 2 minutes to go in the third. The Rams in front 35-20. These two teams will play once every 4 years. With the LA Bowl. No trophy. On 3rd and 1, nice redirect by Gordon. The adjustment made, and he gets the first down out near midfield. 6-yard gain. Roby Coleman had a chance to pin him down, but couldn't.
Such an important run there by Melvin Gordon to pick up the first down. It appeared that he might have been hit in the backfield for a loss.
Now this potent backfield of Gordon and Eckler. Came in with 23 combined receptions. Gordon has 2 today, Eckler with 1. So that has not been a big part of the game plan compared to the previous 2 games. Rivers on first down, airs it out. Too high. Tyrell Williams matched up with Roby Coleman.
Yeah, that's smart by Rivers and Ken Wisenhunt, realizing that the Rams are down their 2 top corners. Let's go after the backup. Roby Coleman, normally a nickel back, playing receivers in the slot. That time did an excellent job of keeping Tyrell Williams pinned to the sideline so he couldn't adjust to that pass.
And Talib still on the bench for the Rams. Ankle injury for Peters in the first half. What appeared to be ankle trouble for Talib here on this drive. 1:05 to go in the third. 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. Rivers delivers to Mike Williams. Becoming a bigger part of this offense. 16 yards on the hookup working against Roby Coleman.
Again, good protection, a good clean throwing lane. And the ball put right to the face mask of Mike Williams, as he's showing a good sharp route there. But this could be real trouble for the Chargers.
It is Russell Okung, the Pro Bowl left tackle, hunched over on one knee. We'll step aside with 45 seconds to play in the third.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com. And by Allstate, reminding you that football season is mayhem.
As the Rams deal with injuries in the secondary, Chargers now dealing with injuries on the offensive line. Barksdale already out with a knee injury. Trent Scott has now moved over to right tackle. Sam Tevi's at left tackle. And down goes Rivers, engulfed by Sue.
Now this is his first sack as a Los Angeles Ram, working on the rookie. Right away, Wade Phillips, defensive coordinator, puts his most experienced lineman on the rookie, who on his first play goes down for a 4-yard loss.
Scott is out of Grambling State. Tevi was at right tackle replacing Barksdale, but the injury to Okung forced the change. And that's the end of the third quarter. 35-20, Rams leading the Chargers. Back to Los Angeles after this. A word from your local station. There was no pro football in the city of Los Angeles from 1995 to 2015, a 20-year absence. Now 2 teams in LA. First time that they have gone head-to-head since the new setup. And it's 35-20 Rams leading the Chargers here in the fourth. Handoff on 2nd and 14. Austin Eckler. He's got that extra gear, and he turns it into a 10-yard gain as we send it downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, let's start with the good news. Russell Okung just made his way out of the injury tent. He's now on the field. They put a heavy tape job on that right knee. Not so good for the Rams. Aqib Talib is currently in the locker room. Left ankle, I have to imagine x-rays being done on that ankle. Couldn't put full body weight on it. When you get an official word on it, we'll let you know.
So that's the starting bookend corners of the Los Angeles Rams, both down right now. Talib and Peters. Okung, as Evan mentioned, back on that left side, so Tevi back at the right side. Shotgun on 3rd and 4. Rivers tosses. He's got Gates for a first down. The patience of Rivers.
He's just following Gates on the crossing route. There's the tackle there that time by Christian. There's that little sidearm push. And another completion to his favorite receiver of all time.
The Chargers are now 7 of 11 on 3rd down conversions. They open the day 0 of 3. And a new set of downs at the 24 of the Rams. Just underway here in the fourth. They'll go to the trickery. Tyrell Williams, former track star in college. Williams hit along the sideline out of Western Oregon. Give him a gain of 14 on the play. And the Chargers are at the Rams 10.
And the Chargers basically now dictating how this game's going to be played when they're on offense. You see the Rams, a lot of guys with their hands on their hips. Again, it's a warm day here in L.A. The Rams are getting worn out.
First and goal at the 10. Williams goes in motion. They pitch it to Gordon. Gordon stops, and he is stopped after gaining 2 by Corey Littleton.
Boy, that play looked more promising at the beginning with Sam Tevi out in front, Tevi back at right tackle with Okung back in the lineup at left tackle. Watch number 69, left side of the screen. And Derek Watt there, he misses on Littleton, and that's the end of the road for Gordon.
A speedy Rams defense ranging over to deal with Gordon. Second and goal. And a timeout taken.
First.
There was confusion on the Rams defense. And a wise timeout before Rivers could snap the ball. 12:03 to play here in the fourth. Next Sunday, CBS's Super Bowl coverage continues. A great doubleheader. First, AFC East showdown. Miami, undefeated, heads to New England to battle Brady and the Patriots. Then Drew Brees drives New Orleans into New York to face Eli and the Giants. The day kicks off with the NFL Today, 12 Eastern on CBS. The upset win by Buffalo, knocking off Minnesota. The Bills will be in Green Bay, and we'll join you from Lambeau next week. 11th play of the drive. Second and goal. Williams already has 2 touchdowns. Rivers dials it up. Too high. And he was looking for Mike Williams. 2 defenders there. And some pressure from Sue.
Yeah, that time the Rams double-teamed Mike Williams smartly. Again, Williams caught a touchdown last week against Buffalo from about the same spot on the field, the same type of route, something curling to the back of the end zone. Rams scouted that well and prevented another score by Williams.
Third and goal. Dime package here for the Rams. Rivers launches. One-handed attempt by Allen. He can't bring it in. And it's 4th down.
A good job of coverage by LaMarcus Joyner as he prevents Keenan Allen from this spectacular attempt.
And they send out the field goal unit with 11:54 to play. It's Caleb Sturgis for a short kick.
Yeah, he missed a short extra point earlier in the ball game.
This is a 26-yard attempt for Sturgis. The Chargers are down by 15. And now the Chargers are down by 12. Rams have the lead. Fourth quarter action continues from the Coliseum after this. Another 30-plus point game for Sean McVay's team. That's 12 now since the start of last season. 3 more than any other team, Philadelphia and New Orleans. They put 35 on the board. Chargers had a decision to make there. Do you go for it on 4th down? Do you take the points? They took the points. The problem is they haven't shown that they can stop the Rams consistently. Johnny Hekker is yet to punt here today. Countess takes it out of the end zone. And Countess hit hard as he crossed the 20-yard line and a flag down. Kyle Emanuel with the shot. Penalty marker came from behind the play and tossed at the 19-yard line. John Hussey will fill us in.
During the return, personal foul, receiving team. Double team block. That penalty is forced half the distance from the goal. First down.
Well, on Tuesday, members of the Chargers 2018 rookie class spent the morning hosting the first official Play 60 Junior Chargers training camp at Worthington Elementary School in Inglewood. Players ran various positional drills, discussed the importance of getting 60 minutes of play each day. Over 200 kids in attendance at the event. Inglewood, the future home of both the Rams and the Chargers. New stadium set to open in 2020, and they are on schedule. It will host the Super Bowl in 2022, a $4 billion project. So back it up for the Rams. Todd Gurley cuts it to the outside. Nice curl by Gurley. Short of the first down, but what could have been a 4 or 5 yard run is an 8 or 9 yard run, depending on the spot.
Yeah, really good patience by Gurley. There's a double team, Whitworth and Saffold. Good block by the tight end as well there. Higbee, and it's Mebane that has to bring him down from his inside tackle position.
Give it to Gurley again. Weaving through the defense for a first down, hit by Derwin James. The last time the Rams cracked 500 yards of offense, you have to go back to week 16 of 2006 against the Washington Redskins. They had 579 that day. They have 470 right now with 10:54 to go in the fourth.
And it didn't take him long to get out of a dangerous part of the field. A couple of plays already out to the 30.
And Gurley has been a dual threat today. Fake it. The toss is to Kupp, and a flag thrown at the 25. So a long play downfield, but the Rams are not marching down the field.
Personal foul, face mask. Offense number 76. Penalties half the distance to the goal. First down.
It's Roger Saffold III. The versatile offensive lineman for the Rams, who's played left tackle, right guard, left guard over the course of his 9-year career.
Little play action fake that time. Saffold pretending he was going to pull and block for Gurley, just reached out and grabbed like Melvin Gordon's face mask. And Melvin Ingram, rather.
Line of scrimmage is the 15. Now a 1st and 25. This is a must stop for the Chargers, considering the differential. And a big stop in the backfield. Gurley could not break away from Ingram.
Well, he hasn't had any sacks today, but this is a huge play with head fake on Havenstein and getting into the backfield. What an athletic move by Melvin Ingram. Gurley had no shot.
So now it's a 2nd and 29, under 10 minutes to play here in the fourth. Run it again. Gurley breaks away and tripped up. Comes up short of the 20-yard line. Isaac Rochelle, who has stepped in for Joey Bosa, will get credit for the tackle. But it's 3rd and long here for the Rams. No huddle. From the 19, the Chargers back up defensively. Goff steps up and throws. Higbee short of a first down. So on 3rd and 21, they pick up 17. Penalty marker on the play.
Yeah, this one's coming back too. The Rams with a couple of costly penalties on this possession.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalties half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
And it's Austin Blythe calling the hold.
Here he is hooked up with Darius Philon. They got the wrong number. Blythe didn't make contact with anybody.
You know, they stopped him on 3rd down. Now they're going to place the football just short of the 10.
This is where they started this possession.
It's now 3rd and 30. Would have been 4th and 4.
Now watch for a screen pass here, something very conservative.
Toss it to Robert Woods. And Woods coughed it up at the end of the play. He's ruled down. So finally we will see Johnny Hekker punt the football today. Chris Landrum helping to wrap up Woods. And the clock rolling. We will hit 8 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. 35-23 lead for the Rams over the Chargers.
And it wasn't so much the Chargers stopped the Rams, it was the holding penalties that stopped the Rams.
Johnny Hekker, one of the best in the business, 4-time Pro Bowler. With J.J. Jones deep at the Chargers 20. Hekker places it at the 29. Jones takes it to the 40 in good field position for the Chargers to open up as Kadero Hodge makes the play on special teams, a 49-yard punt, 11-yard return, 35-23 Rams in the 4th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda's family of SUVs, sized to fit your life. Verizon, the best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network. And by Sonic, this is how you Sonic.
The Los Angeles Stadium and Entertainment District in Inglewood. Originally, they were hoping to be in there in 2019, but weather affected that schedule. 35-23 Rams. The slice by Gordon. And a big gain for Gordon into Rams territory. 23 yards, Melvin Gordon III.
And longest run of the afternoon for Gordon. Chargers come in with 2 tight ends, realizing there's a lot of time left in this game, and they have seized the momentum. A tremendous way to start this drive.
So the ball control, the Rams have run 63 plays. They've got the advantage in time of possession, but the Chargers just came up with the defensive stop they needed, and the door is open. 35-23 Rams. Rivers, deep drop, little flip for Eckler. Eckler breaks a tackle. Walking the tightrope. Austin Eckler out of bounds. 6:51 left on the clock.
That's not exactly how they drew this play up. Eckler was just faking the reverse here. Watch him, number 30 here. Goes behind Rivers. Oh, wait, that's a good idea. Let me throw it to him. Gets away from Ebukam.
A little why not from Phillip Rivers to Austin Eckler for 15. Clock is rolling. 6:24 to play. Chargers have all 3 timeouts remaining. They give it to Gordon. And he cannot break away from Ramik Wilson, looping around. Again, stepping in for the injured Mark Barron. And Wilson has held up well.
Well, he and Corey Littleton really benefit, obviously, from the front 3 of Donald, Sue, and Brockers. Those guys occupy so many offensive linemen. Let's see, linebackers run free often.
Remember that missed extra point by Caleb Sturgis. This would be an 11-point game, and you'd be looking at a field goal, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. We're down to 5:40 remaining. 2nd and 10. A 5-receiver set. Rivers steps up. Rivers launches. End zone. Knocked away. Keenan Allen, the intended target. The veteran Sam Shields ranging over with some help.
And Keenan Allen limping after this. Look at this play by Sam Shields as he elevates and hangs and gets 2 fingers on it.
And Allen heads to the Chargers sideline. This LA Bowl could turn out to be very costly for both teams. 3rd and 10. Rivers out of the gun. Rivers underneath to Williams. And brought down immediately. They'll spot it just inside the 20-yard line. Roby Coleman started, and then Littleton finished it off. And it's 4th down.
And because the score is a 12-point difference, Chargers knowing they've got to go for it on 4th down here. Field goal doesn't do them all that much good.
Under 5 minutes to play.
Allen's back in the game for the Chargers.
4th and 5. Rivers underneath. Catch made. Ball comes loose from Eckler. He didn't get to the spot. Now he tried that spin move trying to get there. The Rams claim they've got the football. And now the officials are going to have to clean all of this up.
One way or the other, I got to believe this is the Rams' ball because, as you said, Ian, this reach here doesn't pick it up.
He extended there, and then the ball came loose.
Question is, was his knee down when he was extending? Tough to tell by that picture.
And this is an immense call.
On the field is a catch. Fumble, recovered by the defense. 1st down.
And there you have it. The Rams take over.
Well, this will be reviewed.
So you had Littleton holding on, and then Johnson came in.
And his knees were on top of the tackler, so they would never hit the ground. So this is an excellent call by the officials, seeing the fumble.
It's an effort play from Eckler. He knows he has to get to the marker for the drive to continue. If he doesn't get to the marker, they're handing it over to the Rams anyway on downs. The Rams offense is on the field. The Chargers defense is on the field. And it's Rams football.
And the officials just huddling to make sure they got it right, I guess.
The Rams take over with a 12-point lead and 4:23 on the clock. Goff with 29 completions today, a career high. Nice move by Gurley, the stop and go to the 19. Coming up after the game, time permitting, the State Farm postgame show. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights, all coming up on the State Farm postgame show. So a couple of turnovers for the Chargers. A couple of turnovers for the Rams.
And this is the clock that Goff is looking at, the play clock every time now. Use it all. Use as much as you can.
Rams are in control here. Looking for a 1st down to extend the drive. And the acceleration by Gurley. Needed 3 yards. He got 4. And they'll move the chains.
Nice job by Tyler Higbee. Watch him. He's almost like a pulling guard here on this play. Gurley gets right in behind him, reads the block, lowers his head, and drags the rookie White forward for a couple.
.332 to play, and now the Chargers have to start thinking about timeouts. Jared Goff, back-to-back games with 350 plus passing yards. Go back to 58, and Billy Wade, Kurt Warner, Mark Bulger, the 4th quarterback all-time in Rams history to accomplish that. He's at 354 here today. Chargers with 2 timeouts remaining. Running play doesn't work. Gurley gets hit at the 21-yard line. Philon. Another timeout call. Chargers have 1 left. Stops the clock with 3:29 left to play. We'll step aside, come back with more of the fourth quarter from Los Angeles. Coming up, time permitting, the State Farm postgame show. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cower. Latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the State Farm postgame show. Chargers have one timeout remaining, 2-minute warning. Rams face a 2nd and 12 with 3:29 to play. They lead at 35-23. On the ground, Gurley busting through, and Gurley dives to the 35. The Rams have just cracked 500 yards of offense after the 14-yard gain by Gurley. Good block from Whitworth.
And they've had such success running on that left side behind Whitworth and Saffold and the tight ends. But this is the power of Gurley, ripping away from that attempt by Ingram, breaking through the rookie there, James, and always going forward.
That's it for the Chargers in timeouts. 3:19 to play. Let's check in with Evan Washburn. Evan?
Well, guys, as positive as this finish looks for the Rams, it's important to note Aqib Talib doubtful with that left ankle, so that appears to be a bit serious. Marcus Peters, we know, is out. Short week for the Rams. They have the Vikings on Thursday, so this win could prove costly.
And they take on a Vikings team that surprisingly got spanked by the Bills today. Todd Gurley into a crowd, and they'll give him forward progress to the 41.
Yeah, the Vikings are not going to be in a very good mood.
No.
And this short week is always problematic. It's better to have it early in the season. But when you lose your two top corners, potentially, the Rams have got to do some major adjustments.
Gurley has just topped the 100-yard rushing mark. You tack on 51 receiving yards, and that's a total of 156 yards and a touchdown for Todd Gurley. Powerful runner. Second and 4. The best it can be for the Chargers if they stop him would be getting the ball with about 1:10 left. Malcolm Brown gets the call, and it is short of a first down.
This is where your offensive line really shines, and this is where they really love it. They can go forward on every play, never retreating, never taking the beating. Instead of taking it, they're dealing it. And with Gurley as your power back behind you with the ability to bust one, very demoralizing for a defense.
3rd and 1 as we hit 2 minutes to play. The Battle of LA. Right now, the Rams with the advantage, trying to finish it off at the Coliseum, the NFL on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, enjoyed by giant blue fictional knights everywhere. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Third and 1 for the Rams. 2 minutes to play. They lead at 35-23 over the Chargers. They get a yard and the game's over. That's it. Chargers cannot stop the clock. Rams will go into victory mode. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The Chargers and the Rams here in LA. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. Producer Mark Wolf, director Bob Fishman and company. Our score, 35-23 Rams. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast.
That was so smart of Malcolm Brown, knowing he just needed a yard or so. Once he got it, he got down, did not risk having that ball knocked loose and being turned over to the Chargers.
So the Chargers will fall to 1-2. They will be home for San Francisco, and questions about Jimmy Garoppolo. The Rams improved to 3-0. Last time they did that was 2001. They went 14-2 that year. They started the season 6-0. And it's hard not to think about the greatest show on turf when you look at this Rams squad and all the weapons they have. They have 521 yards today.
Greatest show near surf.
Ooh.
That's two. Huh?
Yep. I would talk to your lawyer.
Football graphic.
Yeah, put that on a
memory
t-shirt. Goff takes a knee, and that's it. The Battle of Los Angeles 2018 edition belongs to the Rams. 35-23 the final here at the Coliseum. Sean McVay's squad 3-0. And the offensive numbers are eye-popping.
Tremendous balance for that Ram offense. Goff well over 300 yards passing. Gurley well over 100 yards rushing.
And Woods over 100 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns.